In this video, we're going to continue looking at the relationship between decimal and fraction multiplication. Look at the first problem, 3 2/10 multiplied by 2 1/10. Now when we look at this problem, we know that we can write 3 2/10 as a mixed number, where we have 3 2/10 times 2 1/10. And if we're going to multiply it that way, we want to make sure that we're turning it into an improper fraction, where we have 32/10 times 21/10, which gives us 672 100ths, or if we wrote that as decimal, we would have 6 72 hundredths. Now this is one way that you can do it. It's not the way that I would usually think to do it. Instead, I would tend to line it up in a more standard algorithm. But one of the things that you want to think about is what we're really doing is we're moving the decimal out of the way. So we have 32/10 multiplied by 21/10. And when we think about tenths times tenths, we need to think about that as 10 times 10, which is 100, which tells me my answer, my product, is going to be hundredths. And that's going to help you determine where the decimal goes. And now I can solve this like I would a typical algorithm. And when I solve this, I see that I have 672 as a result, but it's not actually 672, it's 672 hundredths. So when I look at it that way, I know that I need to add in my decimal, which 672 hundredths is the same fraction that we had here, and then we know we can add that decimal. So we have 6 72 hundredths. Look at the next problem, 31 hundredths times 1 4/10. Now I'm already thinking this on the side is hundredths, and 1 4/10 has tenths, so I'm looking at hundredths times tenths, so I know that my solution is going to be thousandths. Okay, solve it on your own and then let's look at it. Now when I solved this, I did it with the traditional format, and that works well for me. And before I did that, remember I wanted 31 times 14, and to do that I'm moving the decimal twice for the top number to get my hundredths out, and once for the bottom number to get my tenths out, for a total of 3 moves. 2 in the first one and the 3rd in the next. Now when I look at my product down at the bottom, 434, I need to move that decimal back in. And since I've moved it out 3 times, I need to move it back in 3 times, and I'll see that I have 0 and 434 thousandths, which lines up with, remember, I needed those thousandths. Try this last one on your own. 4 2/10 times 12 hundredths. Again, when I solved this, I set it up with the standard algorithm. I multiplied it after moving my decimal out to find that I have 24 plus 480. Adding them together, I have 504 before I move my decimal back in, which I moved it out 3 places, I moved it back in 3 places, and I see my product is 504 thousandths.